talk about A Quiet Place Day 1. Let's talk about the news that we got from Superman on set. Photos from the new Superman movie.
Is it
No
even
opinions
news?
yet.
It's just leaks.
It's just fucking. We'll get to that. We'll get to that because I got my opinions on that. Let's just start off with A Quiet Place Day 1, the third entry to the Quiet Place franchise that John Krasinski built up from part 1 and part 2. This is a prequel to those two movies, taking place obviously on day 1 in New York City, which I did like that setting a lot for this movie for day 1. Just
because I mean, that's where you're going to see the most disaster.
And New York is like the loudest city in the fucking world.
Yeah.
It even tells you that in the beginning of the movie. It was like average decibel level for New York City is 90 decibels,
which is equal to like somebody screaming.
Yeah. So what do you think about A Quiet Place Day 1?
I liked it. I mean, I thought it captured, what we've come to expect from this franchise, like really good at building up that anticipation, like, oh shit, are they going to get caught? And those, I love that we got to see a lot more of the monsters this time.
There's a lot more.
There's a lot more of them.
Yeah.
But, like it's also, most of it's like in broad daylight.
Yes.
And
maybe that's why it wasn't as scary to me.
Maybe. Did it feel? Yeah. I mean, yeah, when you don't see it coming, yeah, that's terrifying.
Honestly, even the jump scares didn't get me in this one.
No, there was one. I know the jump scare in particular you're thinking of, right? When she was
the
dreaming.
bedroom one? Yeah. That one did not get me.
No, I was kind of expecting that.
And
I was just like, nice try.
And you know what's funny is Summer was next to me and she jumped back so hard. And I was just sitting there like, really? Was it that scary to you? Or am I just so desensitized at this point?
I may have just been like,
I didn't even flinch. I kind of expected it, like you were saying.
Yeah. I like that we had totally different characters, though. I thought that made it feel very fresh.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to at this point.
Yeah.
If we got a third movie of the same characters. I mean, I thought part 1 and part 2 were very interesting stories.
They are.
They were good.
And also part 2 does kind of cover what day 1 was like for those characters. Because they had the flashbacks in part 2, so didn't feel necessary. They definitely need to switch it up.
Good performance by Lupita Nyong'o and what's his name?
Stranger Things boy.
Stranger Things. Eddie Munson. Johnny Storm now.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I always forget his name.
I always forget his name too.
Joseph Quinn.
Really?
Who found it faster than me?
Well, because I got on my phone later. All right, yeah, Joseph Quinn. He also had a good performance. I thought they had pretty good chemistry together. I wasn't like the fondest of his character. I also, after this movie, I'm really questioning how he's going to do as Johnny Storm. I don't know. Do you think he'll be able to fill those shoes as Johnny Storm?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's funny. This is the second time I've seen him, and he plays a coward, kind of. Like, I mean, obviously he like overcame his fear in this one, but
and obviously
it was kind of like the same character arc as Eddie Munson had.
And I was about to say too, like, and also he's an actor, so just because he acts as a coward in one thing doesn't mean he can't act as someone else.
I know, but I just found that funny. I was like, I've only really seen him take a major role in 2 things, and in both of those 2 things, he kind of portrays a coward.
Yeah.
I also found it funny that they were showing another example of people having a panic attack in movies. That's been a very common thing lately. And I saw a video of somebody talking about it, and it kind of started with Puss in Boots, The Last Wish.
Yeah.
They showed him having a panic attack, and we've had that. We've had Inside Out 2, and now we've had this.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, I get it, but I'm also like, okay, how many more times are we going to see a panic attack portrayed in a movie?
I mean, I guess they just like saw how well it did, and they're like, oh, let's capitalize on this. And it's like, I get, having that representation because it is a very real thing.
Right. And I think they're trying to show the message that, anyone can have a panic attack.
Yes. And it's very relevant in like today's society, especially, which I feel like is why they're capitalizing on it so much. But I'm like, all right, like we've seen enough.
Right.
Can we come up with a different gimmick here?
Because it's not just those 3 movies that have been doing it lately.
Oh, yeah. No, those are just the 3 off the top of my head.
Yeah. I did notice that too.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, another panic attack story.
And there was a therapy animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cat was the real MVP of this movie.
Dude, the cat was the MVP. Never made a meow.
No.
I was fully expecting a wrongly timed meow that was going to get it absolutely fucked.
If you've seen this movie, well, the cat is pretty prominent in the trailers as well, but if you've seen this movie, the cat is the real MVP. The cat was a fantastic actor as well.
Was.
that was a fucking choice and a half to have the cat be that prominent in the movie.
I know, yeah.
I kind of got distracted by the cat, if I'm not gonna lie. And the whole time I was expecting, like, if you're really gonna kill off this cat after putting this much screen time on him, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
I wonder how much that cat got paid.
I don't know, man. Where does that money go to?
I think the owner of the cat.
Or like the shelter. No, there's no shelter, but
no,
where does the money go to?
It's got to, because like the owner is the one who either they bought the cat and they paid for the training for the cat to have this kind of.
I was gonna say it's probably like a specific company that trains animals for movies. So it's like,
I mean, it could be,
yeah.
But you also have people who will just like buy a cat with the intention of getting them into movies and stuff and have them trained for these purposes.
Weird intention to get a cat for.
It is, but it's a strange world, Blake.
Yeah. Overall, I did enjoy the story, the premise of the movie. I enjoyed the acting performances.
And you said it felt short.
It was shorter. Well, the runtime is an hour and 40.
Yeah.
And I have nothing against a short movie. Like, obviously, we've seen a bunch of great short horror movies. Like a tight 90 is always the sweet spot, I feel like, for a horror movie. But to me, the story felt incomplete in a way. Like, it felt like we had Act 1, Act 2 continuous, and then there was just kind of an abrupt ending, in my opinion.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I feel like we were talking about that like right as we got outside the theater.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a very traditional movie.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that you do have an Act 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like, they kind of just like threw you right. The Act 1 was short itself too, because like once the meteors crashed or the aliens crashed, that was Act 2 right off the get go. And then there wasn't like a good conclusion or anything. Like they had like a nice little moment in the jazz place, but I wouldn't really say that really felt like an Act 3 or anything.
Correct. I think there was a reliefful ending.
Yeah.
That a word? Reliefful?
I don't think so.
No, there was a relieving ending. Let's say that. Okay.
Yeah.
There was a relieving ending, but I don't think it was a very fulfilling ending.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great conclusion, in my opinion. I also wish that we followed some more characters that they had introduced in the beginning.
Yeah, no, it was very heavily focused on our main characters.
Which is fine. Like, you can have great films that focus on just two characters, but it did introduce a group in the beginning that I was a fan of.
I know. The family, I know. Yes. I don't know that actor's name off the top of my head.
His name, let me go to the movie.
But he's in a lot of stuff, though.
Is. No,
I really like him.
Djimon Hounsou?
Yeah, him.
Yeah, he's in Guardians.
He was in Guardians, yep.
Gladiator. He was in... Oh, he was in the second one. Quiet Place Part 2. That makes sense now.
Was he?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes. That makes sense now.
I did not know that. Okay.
That makes a lot more sense. Maybe that's why they didn't follow him, because
we get more of his story in Part 2?
Right.
All right, yeah, that makes sense then.
That does make sense.
But I mean, you still could have shown a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. Alex Wolff, who was Ruben. Like, there were just some characters that I wish we got a little more screen time of.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a movie that definitely is nonstop. So, like, you're always on the edge of your seat with this movie.
And I mean, I could see myself going back to rewatch this movie, especially if I'm doing like a whole Quiet Place, like trilogy. Say I want to go back and rewatch like the entire thing. Like I would rewatch it. It's not something I'd want to skip, but I definitely, it's not something I think is going to go down in like the history books. No. It was just an enjoyable film.
It was enjoyable.
I'd say it's worth your time and money, but at the same time, it's not going to blow your mind.
No, and it's not on the same level as the previous two, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I also thought the settings were kind of dull. Like, I get that it's New York, a catastrophe happening in New York with smoke and dust everywhere. So it's a very dull setting in general, but I just thought it, like, the look of it wasn't too appealing to me.
I thought one of the best settings was probably when they were in the subway system and they were getting chased down the tunnel in the water, and that all you see is the creature climbing on the ceiling. Yeah. That was pretty creepy.
That was a cool setting.
Also, when he was retrieving meds and he was climbing up on that pole to get the cat.
Yes.
Is it me, or was that one in particular way bigger? Did it look way bigger than they usually are?
The monster?
Yes. I don't know why, but I was looking at like its head size compared to him, And I was like, that one looks like especially tall.
No, they're pretty big.
I know that they're big, but I don't know. That one looked like even bigger. And I couldn't tell what they were doing in there. Were those eggs? What were those?
I don't know. I want to say they were eggs. That's what I think.
But then I saw them like crack one open like they were eating it. I couldn't figure it out.
I mean, there's plenty of animals that live on Earth that eat their own eggs.
I know that. But at the same time, I was like, there's plenty of humans around here to kill and eat. So why wouldn't they just do that?
They'd be hungry. I did think I did like the close-ups that we got in this one. I think those monsters are pretty wicked looking.
They are wicked looking.
Very similar to the Demogorgons in Stranger Things.
Similar to the Demogorgons.
Very similar, but
I like
different.
I like the hearing. Yeah. Honestly, I do. I think I like A Quiet Place because the premise is just so interesting how it's a creature that relies solely on its hearing.
Yeah.
And you know, they're just so sensitive to the slightest little tiny noise. I don't know. I just think it's a really cool premise.
No, I think it's a movie that a lot of people in our theater enjoyed. You could definitely hear the audience reactions to certain scenes.
Yeah.
You can tell it was a fulfilling ending for a lot of the audience. So it's definitely a movie that a lot of the audiences are seeming to enjoy, which is a good thing. I do think overall just an enjoyable movie that I guess will have you entertained the whole time.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
And I will say, I think one of the most enjoyable parts about the Quiet Place movies in a theater setting is the fact that everybody shuts up.
Yeah.
Everybody shuts up. For the most part, you can generally hear a pin drop, and I love it.
Yeah, you don't typically hear that theater etiquette.
No. You really don't.
It's really funny here with the name A Quiet Place. It already insinuates like, hey, shut the fuck up during this movie.
And like and everything's quiet on the screen. So, you know, it's very rare moments where you're able to sneak in a word here or there and like stay under the volume of the speakers.
The first time I went to go see the original Quiet Place movie, I had brought nerds, not even like nerd clusters, not nerd ropes,
just straight up nerds that are gonna crunch like crazy in your mouth and make a noise every time you try and pour it.
Yep, just the nerds that were loosely in a box that just make all those rattling noises.
Yep, like you got a baby rattle in your hand.
Yeah. And that's the candy of choice I brought to the first one.
That was a mistake. Thanos.
That was a mistake. What I bring this time?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask myself that. I brought Smarties. Weirdly enough.
Oh my god! And Berto said the rappers were so loud.
The rappers were kind of loud. I tried to open the rappers when like noise was going on. In the movie, and then my other thing was what was my other thing?
You had Smarties, and you had. Was it a weird candy or was it?
Oh no, it was Sour Patch Kids.
Oh
yeah, Sour Patch Kids were fun.
Oh, that was like the summer one, right?
It was like lemonade flavors.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Honestly, like
this sounds good,
dude. I think I need to start getting like the super sour Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah,
because those ones just like were not
more
cut.
Sweet.
They weren't
everything.
Cutting it for me. I was like, I need more sourness to this.
I brought nerd clusters this time. One candy I'm not gonna fucking trust at all anymore is Starburst.
Why?
Me and Summer were at we were at a Publix on St. Pete Beach when we were doing our little vacay.
Yeah.
And in the candy aisle there was these Starburst. What were they called? Starburst Fluffies? Whatever. Either way, Starburst Air, and it was like these fluffy Starburst that like looked good.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a cool idea too. It's like a puffed up, light texture Starburst. And they all fucking tasted the same. It was a very bland taste. They just didn't have that same Starburst.
Okay, but that's not a regular Starburst.
No, but like it should still taste good.
Agreed.
I was just so disappointed. We were so disappointed.
But
about
I wouldn't go so far as to say don't trust Starburst ever again.
Starburst anymore.
Even the regular ones?
I'm not a fan of like the
those have never
ones.
let you down. What are you talking about?
Those take too fucking long to chew.
All right, yeah, they're chewy, but it's because they're like a taffy.
No, I know, but who wants to sit there and waste their time unwrapping every single one and then chewing?
Unless you want them to all stick together, that's what you got to do, man. What, you think they should come out with like a Starburst bar and you just like take bites out of it? So you don't got to unwrap a bunch of individual ones?
Interesting, but no.
I think they could do that.
They probably could, but
I think that wouldn't be a bad idea.
No, I don't think they should do that. Starburst is just a lot of work.
Whatever. Those pink ones are worth it.
Yeah. All right. Before we move on to what else we're going to talk about, one last thing I do want to credit, because we were talking about how a lot of people are quiet when they go to see these movies, is also the impressive thing about these Quiet Place movies is the sound, because sound is one of the hardest parts of making a film.
Yeah,
I believe, and when you have to, grasp the audience with that low of audio on set.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it definitely takes a lot of work, because audio is definitely, I think, more important than a lot of aspects of a movie, because if you don't have good audio in the movie, you're going to lose your audience. And when you try to get,
especially if the movie's designed to be, experienced that way. Like, obviously, like there are silent movies, that is a thing.
Yeah.
But that's because the visuals were created with the knowledge that there wasn't going to be any audio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And trying to capture that low of audio on set, it is really hard, because like the higher you turn up the sensitivity or the drive on those microphones, the more background noises that you do pick up on.
So when they say quiet on set, they fucking mean it.
Yeah, they got to be real quiet. I mean, that is another impressive thing about these movies. All right, let's move on. What do I want to talk about? Let's talk about this. We'll talk about Superman. Okay. We got new on-set photos of Superman movie, James Gunn new Superman movie. Did those on-set photos fix any doubts you had on the new Superman suit?
To be honest, I didn't really have a whole lot of doubts. Like, I really didn't. Like, when they released that picture, I was like, okay, that is a solid suit.
It's definitely more vibrant in the on
set. That compared to that picture they released, the suit is way more vibrant than people were thinking it was. I do want to say I do love the gold S on the cape.
Yeah.
Fucking perfection. I thought that part was great.
I think the cape looks great.
Yeah.
The one thing I just can't get past, I don't know if they'll adjust it in post editing as well, but it is definitely the baggiest.
It is
looking
baggy.
Superman suit.
It is baggy. I agree.
Now say what you want, but I don't think a Superman suit should be baggy, even if it's made by his goddamn mom.
Yeah, no, I agree. I will say it does look pretty baggy on him, and I was noticing that when I was looking at it, I was like, bro, Henry Cavill, like you're seeing. I mean, I get that this one's like an alien suit,
right?
But you're seeing like every muscle on this guy. He got super ripped and in shape, and then I'm like, bro, all this work that this poor guy just did, you're hiding it under this baggy suit.
Right.
So I agree that I think that's something that hopefully can be adjusted in post or I don't know.
Again, it could definitely look different than what we see when the movie comes out.
Yeah. Because that could just be like the practical suit or whatever,
Here's what I do know. I don't know if you have this problem either, but I am so sick and tired of seeing so much of the movie before it comes out.
Same.
I am so tired of seeing these on-set photos. I am so tired of seeing all these damn trailers too, not just with the Superman on-set photos that we've gotten recently, but with how many Deadpool trailers that we have gotten. Now they showed a teaser with Sabretooth coming back.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, bro, chill out. Like, I get.
Can we be surprised in the theater?
I get for movies to sell more tickets, they need to put out more trailers. But like for a movie like Deadpool and Wolverine, the name says it all.
No.
You're good.
Yeah, no.
You're good.
I was just about to say that. Dude, literally, like, you have Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, and Wolverine. That is all you needed to advertise this movie. You bringing up Sabretooth added zero to your ticket sales. It added nothing, because I guarantee you there is not a single person in the universe that goes, psh, Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't give a shit about them. Sabretooth, I gotta go see this. I got to. Nobody's gonna fucking do that.
No.
Deadpool and Wolverine are much more beloved characters than fucking Sabretooth. Like, no hate on Sabretooth, but they're just more famous and more popular.
Just like, I'm about to delete Twitter because of this shit, man.
Bro, literally, this is why I don't watch trailers anymore. This is why I don't watch trailers.
I don't either. I just see the shit on Twitter now. Like, I watch one trailer, I'm good. I saw the first trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, of course I'm gonna go say. I saw one trailer for Furiosa. I'm sold. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Like I saw one trailer for Nosferatu. That's all I need to see.
Yeah.
I'm there.
No, I saw the Sabretooth thing against my will. That popped up on my For You page. Yeah. I was like, God fucking damn it.
It's like, I get that probably wasn't going to be a huge reveal anyways, but it's like, chill the fuck out.
No, still, it's like, I'm in theaters and I'm like, oh shit, it's Sabretooth. Like, now that moment is stolen. And it's like, I don't know. I guess it's like, at the same time, when you watch it on the trailer, you're like, oh shit, Sabretooth. Like you do still kind of have that feeling, but at the same time, it does feel spoiled.
They do.
It's like I want to see
too much.
I want to see it all in one go.
Yeah, they're doing too much.
But speaking of new things coming out for DC as well,
okay.
Did you see the trailer for the new Batman animated series?
I didn't see the trailer. I saw a poster for it though.
I saw a trailer on TikTok, bro. That shit
looks good.
Looks so good. Here's Batman Caped Crusader.
Yes. Okay, but here's my question now. And I'm sure someone knows these logistics and legality of all this, but it's going to be released by Prime Video.
Is it?
It is.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. And I saw that. I was like,
okay.
What?
And Prime Video is making an animated Spider-Man show. I'm like, where the fuck are they getting the rights to do Marvel and DC characters?
Yeah. What? With like Max and.
Yeah. With Warner Brothers owning DC and obviously Disney owning Marvel characters.
Well, I mean, if Warner Brothers owns DC, then I guess it's like whoever Warner Brothers says can have it,
right? Or like they'll give money to Warner Brothers to be able to. But
obviously, like they do have that exclusive deal with Max, where Max has like pretty much everything DC. So I mean, I guess it's like maybe like Amazon was the one who came up to Warner Brothers and said like, hey, like we want to do this show, and they're like, that looks great, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but I'm not mad about it. Because Prime is fucking killing it with the animated shows and honestly, just superhero stuff in general. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, between Invincible and The Boys, they definitely are doing it right. I was just so confused because if I'm looking at it from a business perspective and I'm Warner Brothers, I'm like, okay, this is our bread and butter right here. Like Batman, this is our moneymaker.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, they're getting a cut of whatever it makes.
Right.
That's like the whole point of owning these characters is that so when people do want to make a show or make anything with your characters that you own, you're like, give me half of that.
I was just so confused. I'm like, didn't they announce they were making a Spider-Man show too? I'm like, what the fuck?
That I'm not sure about, but I saw that animated show coming out for Batman. I was like, fuck yes. That looked awesome.
Is it going to?
I think, honestly, dude, I think people are finally starting to realize the money that comes from like adult animation, like stuff that's not specifically designed for kids.
Yeah.
And it's working.
I feel like that's what all anime is. And you see how popular that shit is.
True.
In a way. I don't know.
True.
I don't really watch anime, but from the anime scenes that I've seen and heard of, like the TV shows I've heard about, they seem pretty adult focused.
Yeah. Oh no, they are. Yeah. And I mean, you do have your kid. You do have your kid animes as well, like Dragon Ball Z. Like
Pokemon.
that's a big one. Yeah, Pokemon. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of the same thing here.
But like Death Note, Attack on Titan.
Yeah, those aren't. Right. Those are definitely not for kids.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Prime Video's got fucking money.
They do. Spending $50 million a fucking episode for the Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Did I see it? We did a video about it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, as you saw from one of our videos. That the top 2 shows I think
were Prime
Video.
Yeah.
And they were spending $50 million an episode, which
that's
is
crazy.
Insane. So yeah, that was just my little rant on just seeing too much before a movie is released these days, man. No. We're seeing too much before a movie is released, and we're having movies put on streaming way too early. So it's like they're doing the fucking most to really ensure that we don't get the best theater experience.
Yeah.
Like I don't like people don't get surprised anymore.
They're definitely taking the magic away.
Yeah.
Of like just going into a movie blind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, part of it, I 100% believe most of that fault is due to movie theater prices though. It is.
What about content creators?
What
about like, do you think in a way that the way social media is these days is why they release so many goddamn promo videos or trailers or teaser trailers? Like, think about it. All the content creators, like, I mean, what we're doing right now, we're reacting to it, not in a very positive light, but a lot of, the big time content creators that you see with millions of followers, I mean, this is like their bread and butter right here. They're reacting to the trailers. They're reacting to the news, and their followers love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's one thing that's supporting making so many of these trailers. But on the opposite effect, you do have the or in the opposite way, you do have like the negative effect that these ticket prices are having though, because back in the day, let's go see a movie, it's $5.
Right.
Say I go watch this movie, I didn't like it, it was $5 and, an hour and a half of my time.
Yeah.
Versus now it's 2.5 hours of your time. And if you're 2 people in there, that's at least $30. If not like almost 40.
It's going to be more because
if you're watching something in IMAX, that's $40.
Well, here's another
with 2 people.
Here's another little rant too, because we were just talking about it in the group chat the other day.
Wait, well, hold on. Let me finish my point real quick though. But with those prices though, like people, maybe they're releasing more of the trailers, so people are like, okay, yes, I definitely want to see this. You know what I mean? They're doing their homework more before they go and pay that money for a movie ticket. But that's what I mean.
Here's my opinion on that. I think I think for the most part, when people see one trailer of a movie, they know whether they want to see it or not.
Agreed. They're just doing it overkill.
Yeah. Like I see one trailer and I'm going to know if I'm there or not. And I think that's how most people are.
Yeah.
And another little rant, because we were talking about it in our group chat the other day, because we were going to buy tickets to see A Quiet Place. Because I have the Regal Pass. So like I have my 53 cents convenience fee.
Yeah, for doing it online.
Yeah.
And it could be 100% free if you just go and do it at the thing.
Yes. And then I was buying my girlfriend's ticket, which was like 14 something, but then the convenience fee was $2.53.
Mm-hmm.
So it bumped up the ticket. Then you got tax, so it bumped up the ticket to like $17.50.
Yeah, bro.
When it started out at 14.
Yeah,
and it's a convenience fee, but they take away the box office part of it, so that you don't go up and get the ticket from the box office anymore. You got to go get it at the kiosk yourself. So you're still putting in the work yourself. No one's doing it for you. So where's the fucking convenience now? And you could still go up to the concession stand to get your ticket, but then you got to wait in line.
You can't just go up and have your phone scanned? That's what I do.
No, you can, but I'm saying like if you want to go get your ticket and skip the convenience fee, you got to go to a kiosk and do the work yourself. No one's helping you do the fucking work. So you're still putting in the work. Where's the convenience in that?
Yeah.
And then if you also want to skip the convenience fee, you can go up to the concession stand, but then you got to sit behind people in line that are getting like food, popcorn, snacks, food, stuff that's not even part of, possibly the movie you're going to.
Yeah.
So it's like, where's the convenience fee in getting it online now? It's like the only option.
Yeah.
Like the only option. So what the fuck?
Dude, I'll tell you what
Junk
though.
fees.
Yeah. Like it's a struggle always getting the 2 tickets. Cause I have the Regal Pass too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, I pay $20 a month and I'm only, I get a 50-cent movie for the convenience fee or whatever.
Right.
And then if Tati wants to come, I'm like, there goes my Regal Pass. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I guess it's better than paying $30 for the 2 of us to go, but
nah, you're paying me back. It depends how often we go to the movies.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was a stretch of like 3 weeks where we went like once a week, and I was
really,
and I was like, this is starting to add up.
Yeah.
I just kept buying the movie tickets.
What movies were you seeing?
Well, I mean, I think like 2 of them were with the group, and then we
Inside
went
Out 2, Fall Guy.
Yeah, and then we went by ourselves to one. I can't remember.
Yeah. No, yeah, they get pricey, man.
Yeah. I was like, I bought this Regal Pass for nothing.
Yeah.
I even told her, I was like, might be worth it for you to get a Regal Pass.
Right? Yeah. Let's move on to the next topic for today. I did catch up on the Acolyte.
Okay.
Acolyte.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a question for you. Did episode 5 redeem the Acolyte?
No. It was a pleasant moment in a average series.
Okay.
Just like I think Obi-Wan Kenobi, it was not a perfect series, but it does have some great moments.
Yeah.
Like I think it was episode 3 where it's like him and Leia and she's like running around the city the whole time. Do you remember?
That was episode 2, yeah.
Episode 2, yeah. That episode was absolute garbage. It was a filler episode in a 6-episode series. I was like, why are we doing this? This was so unnecessary. But sorry, I got off track there. But yeah, I mean, it was great. I thought the villain was very intriguing. But honestly, there was even moments in this one where I was like, I was like, come on.
You know what it is?
What?
It's not, honestly, it's not even the story I have a problem with. I know a lot of people are having a problem with the stories and shit being retcon and all that.
Yeah.
I don't even have a problem with all that because there are so many medias of Star Wars between video games, legends, comics, like I just animated shows.
All right.
There's so much to keep
that's not your
up
problem, what's your problem?
It's
because that's part of my problem.
It's the acting.
Oh,
and the dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just like
the
deliveries are not there.
I haven't felt a connection to like any of these characters really besides Soul. Soul was like is the only bright side of this story until we just met our bad guy. But at the same time, I was like, I was like, episode 5, why, and we just meet our big bad. Mm-hmm. Why are we revealing his identity already? You had a great chance to build up some suspense and make me want to watch the next episode, but you fucking revealed his face within the same episode.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because I was like, bro, he would have been so cool as like a mysterious figure for the next 2 episodes.
But here's the thing. It was so obvious who it was.
Was it?
Yes.
It wasn't. Oh, maybe I'm stupid.
Nah,
it wasn't so obvious to me. Honestly, my first theory is I thought they were going to try to do like a little gender swap type thing where it like you assume that it's a male character, and I thought it was going to be like her witch mom.
Oh, okay.
Like that was my original theory. That's who I thought it was going to be.
No, I thought you saw it coming from a mile away, to be honest.
Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention.
That would have been cool though.
Yeah. What, the witch mom?
If it was like a witch, the witch mom.
I thought that would have been cool.
That would have been interesting.
But I don't know, man. Like, I will say it is definitely some of the best lightsaber combat that we have gotten from Disney Star Wars in a long time. Like, I feel like it just felt a lot faster paced, like we were used to from the prequels. I was like, good, like this is what we need to get back to.
Good fight choreography.
Yes, but it's like at the same time, it's like, why did it take this long?
Right.
Like, why did it take this long for you to finally fucking listen? Because there was definitely some cool moves in there that was like unique. Like when one of my favorites is when he made a Jedi kebab with the Force. That was great.
Yeah,
I love that. And also, dude, I was cheering when he finally got Yord. I was cheering. I hate Yord so much. When he had him pinned on the ground and then he got distracted by OSHA. Cooked. No, when he was cooked when he was on the ground, but then OSHA distracted him and he didn't finish the job and then he walked away. I was like, what are you doing? Finish him and then go.
I'm getting a popular consensus that a lot of people aren't a fan of Yord. Yord?
Y-O-R-D.
Y-O-R-D.
Yeah. And I mean, also, it definitely does not help that the actor was like, when Anakin blew up the Death Star, the fact that he doubled down on it and said it twice, that does not help my opinion of that character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of the lightsaber battles that you did see in the sequels, once Disney took over, it's like the lightsabers are fucking heavy.
Yeah, they just feel so slow.
Here's the thing, I get in the original, it is supposed to be more like swordsmen going at it.
But we've evolved.
Right. And we know, and also that's just like a product of his time. You weren't going to get the fight choreography in the prequels in the original ones. That wasn't going to happen.
And also, not to mention, I mean, there's like kind of not necessarily a canon explanation, but like a canon reasoning for why the fighting would be different, because Luke wasn't being trained by a formal Jedi order or anything. So maybe the lightsaber fighting that he learned is different versus in the prequels, you have a whole Jedi order that's teaching Padawans lightsaber fighting on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing in this one as well. You have a whole Jedi order where they're learning lightsaber combat. So it would make sense that it's like a more sophisticated form of fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. And back to just not really being able to feel emotionally connected to any of the characters. You brought up Soul. has been a highlight of the show.
Yeah, he's my favorite one.
Yeah, and I think his acting has definitely been the best acting. But even with the lines that he's been given,
it's hard.
It is, because also that actor is like learning English,
learned English
just to do this role.
Yeah,
which in itself is very impressive. But I do feel like you can feel that in some of the line deliveries, which I mean, it's not his fault. Like that's like if I learned Korean to do a Korean show.
Yeah.
some Koreans watching me on this TV show would probably be like, yeah, that white boy ain't really cutting it with this line delivery.
Yeah.
Because he's very new to the language.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like maybe they're giving white boy a bad script, you know?
That too.
Yeah.
The line I'm specifically thinking about was in episode 5 when they're walking through the forest and they see all those creatures around the tree.
I mean, to be honest, it was kind of refreshing to see that lightsabers are cutting through things again.
Okay, but not my point. Not my point. It's just like, okay, what was the fucking point of that? I get that you wanting to bring these bugs back later into the picture.
Yeah.
But that was just so unnecessary, in my opinion.
What, like how dramatic it was?
Yes, like how dramatic they tried to make it feel.
That bug.
That one bug was coming at them. Woo!
Yeah.
I just felt.
No, I agree. What I mean? It was not intimidating enough for a seasoned Jedi to react that way.
Yes.
Like a seasoned Jedi should have just been like.
Yes. It just felt so dramatic when it really wasn't. But yes, episode 5 was enjoyable.
Definitely the highlight.
I think the first 15 minutes were really great, and then they kind of, the rest of the episode was like setting up for the next one.
Mm-hmm. I will say I think the his helmet is really cool.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, they did a good job on his helmet, and also his gauntlet and the helmet are made of a metal called cortosis, which can temporarily disable lightsabers, which is why you saw that happening.
Yes, because you see him head a lightsaber.
Yeah, he would headbutt lightsabers,
which is that's pretty cool,
dude. I know, and honestly, I saw people like hating on that.
Why?
I was like headbutting the lightsaber. I'm like, bro, he clearly has his helmet as like a form of his fight style, so he can disrupt lightsabers.
Right.
Why is that a problem?
Yeah. Why else would he have it?
Yeah, it's apparently like basically an improved version of Beskar.
Oh wow!
Because Beskar can obviously deflect it. It can deflect it, but it doesn't affect the lightsaber. Versus that one does.
No, I was a fan of that.
No, I thought that shit was.
I thought it was cool that it could temporarily, because then it made them also get creative with the fight choreography and what the Jedis had to do to react to the lightsabers being temporarily disabled. I thought it was cool.
No, I thought it was very interesting. Damn, but bro, when he 3-hole punched that Padawan, I was like, that was rough.
Yeah. Would you rather have gone the way that what was her name? Jackie,
I think.
Would you have rather gone out the way Jackie went or Yord?
The 3-hole punch of the neck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think which one. Probably the neck.
Really?
That's probably more immediate, right?
I don't know. I think I want to go the lightsaber out 3-hole punch.
Why? It's gonna that's like hitting you in the chest. That's not an immediate death. It's quick.
Seems like a more honorable death in a way.
Agreed. I mean, yeah, if I'm gonna choose if I'm gonna choose the cooler way to go out, yeah, I'm gonna go Jackie. But if I'm thinking about I want to experience the least amount of pain possible, probably Yord.
Is that though?
Yeah. I think that's like an immediate one, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure.
I'm not. Well, yeah, clearly we can't be sure because we don't know what it feels like.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I want to say yours is more quick.
Quick?
Yeah.
Definitely more of a bitch way to die though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he deserved.
I don't think anyone liked him.
Not a likable character. Also, can we stop with the Killmonger hairstyles?
Oh yeah,
bro, that shit's crazy.
Yeah,
that we're still doing this 6 years later.
That was very 2018.
Yeah, bro, they did it with him. They did it with Miles Morales. And Spider-Man 2. Yeah,
the video game.
No, I think, or was that one? No,
you're
was
right.
it Spider-Man 2?
It was. Yeah, it was the second one.
Yeah, they just need to stop with that haircut. It's over. It's done.
It is.
It's and there's a lot of other forms of media. Those are just a couple examples.
Right.
But
wow, we're talking about Acolyte on this show. Surprising.
It's relevant.
It is. I've tried to stray away from it.
Yeah, I know.
Just because of, man, if you don't like this show, you're getting called things. If you do like this show, you're getting called things.
Yeah.
It is just in that, world of how toxic are Star Wars fans. But also,
it's dude, it's not even toxic. It's okay, I agree. There's people that go way overboard with it.
Sure. But I feel like you're going to find toxic fans in any fandom.
Yeah.
Just Star Wars more than others.
Agreed. But I mean, I feel like I consider myself a very medium person. It's I like what I like, and I dislike what I'm going to dislike. And one of the things that pisses me off the most is when you say you're not a real Star Wars fan if you don't like love the Acolyte. I'm like, are you serious?
That's what pissed me off about not liking Halloween Ends. People try to tell me I wasn't a Halloween fan. I was like, you need to shut the fuck up right there.
Oh my God. But no, it is literally all in the writing. It's always been in the writing because Andor was one of the best things to come out of Star Wars in recent years.
Which is Disney.
Yeah, and that's Disney Star Wars, and I loved it. I thought it was great. And to be honest, I kind of wish they would do more stories that aren't, Jedi focused.
Right. Okay. So a lot of people are upset about things being quotations like retconned.
Yeah.
In the Acolyte. Which I get there's a lot of things in Legends that aren't canon. Like there's a lot of moving parts, I feel like, when it comes to shit being retconned and what's canon in Star Wars. Like like I said earlier, there's so many different stories and forms of media for Star Wars that it's just a lot to keep up with. Here's what I'll say, because I am not like the biggest knowledgeable person on the lore of Star Wars or all the different stories that go into it. I think it's just more so the fact that maybe the writers these days aren't respecting what comes before it as much as they used to. Like with Clone Wars, the show, and Filoni, they didn't have Anakin meet Grievous in all 7 of those seasons because of one throwaway line in Revenge of the Sith. Now that's respecting what came before it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that is having the same approach with the Star Wars content these days.
It's not. No, because for one, they threw Ki-Adi-Mundi in here, which felt, or Ki-Adi-Mundi, however you pronounce it.
Right.
But they threw him in and it felt so unnecessary. That character could have been anybody.
Yeah.
It could have been literally anybody.
Well, we got 3 episodes left, so I don't know. We'll see what they do with him.
Everybody in this story has to die because of that. They have to.
Because of what he says.
Because of what he says, which is the Sith haven't, there hasn't been a Sith in a millennia.
Okay, but let me say this to you. What if that was just...
And also not to mention the age thing. Because he technically shouldn't be alive yet. You can retcon that easy, that's fine. So I'm not super mad about that. It's more about the line that he says.
In Phantom Menace, you literally could have gotten anyone to say that line.
Yes, you literally could have had anybody else.
But now, is that just, the new stories, the new writer saying, oh, that's just the Jedi hiding something from the council or cooperating to try to keep something hidden, to try to not create any fear within the Jedi Council. Like, basically, I feel like what Star Wars is these days is trying to say, like, we know the Jedi Council didn't all make the best decisions. We know that, but I feel like
they were so egotistical.
Yeah,
they thought they could do no wrong, which is like a major point in the prequels is why Order 66 was able to happen the way it did.
Right, and I feel like they're trying to just make the Jedi Council try to make it seem like they're doing more and more evil decisions.
I don't think that's the case. That would literally mean that he was in on it.
Right.
That would literally mean that he was in on it and he knew something was going on behind the scenes and he was trying to convince other members of the council that the Sith weren't around.
Right.
But, I have a very hard time believing that.
Yeah.
Especially because I know that the writers of this show and the showrunners in general have not watched Star Wars. Some of them have not watched Star Wars.
For real?
Yes.
How do you know?
They've admitted that.
They did?
Yeah.
There's no way.
And the actors as well. Some of them have not watched Star Wars.
No way the creator didn't. Okay. Now you get on to the topic, though, of do actors need to watch previous films?
Yes.
You think they do?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I'll say this to you then.
Sorry, I cut him off, but yes, you should watch the previous things of what you're about to star in so you understand the world that you're entering.
Aegon Targaryen, the actor who plays Aegon in House of the Dragon, has not seen Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So does he need to watch all of Game of Thrones to be able to play that character? And we've seen he's done a great job.
Maybe
if you're trying to be your own thing, your own character.
All right. Well, I will say it's more important for the writer to know.
Okay.
Because
I agree.
It's definitely more important.
Because it's all about the direction they're given.
Yeah. Because, as long as he's not told to say a line that's going to directly conflict something that happens later in Game of Thrones, then we're good.
Right.
And, and like he can read the script, he can see what kind of character this person is.
I think it's more so about the director and the showrunners giving that actor a better sense of direction. Like the showrunners should know the previous content.
Yeah.
The actor,
they need to know the previous content.
It is, when it comes to the actor, I think it is more so about the direction they're given.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, the second they say something that is going to fuck up something in the future, you're screwed.
Okay.
But at the same time, I still think it's beneficial for everybody on set to be aware of what they're entering. Because for one, people do make mistakes.
Yeah.
People do make mistakes. And it's like, say you have an actor who has paid attention to something and they give them a line. And they give them a line that's going to conflict something. And yes, I am thinking of Sam Witwer.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I love Sam Witwer because he's such a Star Wars nerd. And Henry Cavill has made decisions on set.
What was the line that Sam told Filoni?
Filoni meeting Anakin's mom.
Oh yeah, he was telling Padme, "I wish you could have met my mom."
Yeah,
but Sam was like,
"They met.
Buddy. They did meet. Episode 1,
Phantom Menace." Yeah, there was that one, and then also when he was doing Force Unleashed, he was meditating, and when he was meditating, this wasn't something that he corrected. It was just like a cool insight that he had. But when he was meditating, he had a really angry expression on his face the whole time, he was struggling. And and after a few takes, they were like, "Dude, why are you doing that? Like, why are you so aggressive with this?" Mm-hmm. And he's like, "He's a Sith. He's getting trained by Darth Vader. He wouldn't have taught him how to find inner peace or anything like that. Mm-hmm. He's taught him nothing but rage and hatred. Mm-hmm. And and this is when he was trying to build his lightsaber. They don't flow with the Force. He's angrily trying to force the saber to do it. To control the Force to do his will, which is exactly what the Sith is all about. And they're like,
okay, that works.
You're 100% right, and you just got the role. So yeah, I don't know. And then Henry Cavill, when they wanted him to shave for Superman, and he's like, if you look at the death of Superman, has full on hairy chest. Superman has chest hair. Just because you're buff, you don't need to shave. That was another point. Because the actor was such a nerd, they made decisions right on the spot that ended up being for the better.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree it is more important for the writers to understand the universe, but I think it's beneficial for everybody. But yeah, I don't think it would be harmful for the actor playing Aegon to not to watch Game of Thrones.
Right.
I don't think that would be against his own interest to watch that.
Right.
I think it would be nothing but good for the show.
Yes.
May not be necessary, but it's good.
May not be necessary. Also, that is a tall task. Also,
man,
but that's the easy task.
If I was playing a damn role in a Game of Thrones show, you better be fucking sure I'm gonna watch it.
That's true. That is true. That's like the easiest fucking homework you could have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we still got 3 more episodes of The Acolyte. We'll see how it finishes. I thought the first 2 episodes were fine. We all, if you keep up with social media and the internet, you know what people think about episodes 3 and 4.
Episode 3 was garbage. I'm sorry. That's a whole nother.
Yeah, I don't even know if we want to get into that one.
I mean, I can.
No.
Why?
We'll save for another time. I don't know.
All right. All I'm gonna say is this. I think the birth of those 2 twins 100% makes Anakin's birth less special.
Okay. I'll just leave it at that.
Which is people's main complaint about that.
Right.
And also, I think it kind of shits on Palpatine's legacy.
Okay.
Because that man was dedicated to nothing but being able to figure out how to create Force-sensitive beings through the Force.
Yeah.
And this man was so knowledgeable about the Force, and he spent decades, he extended his own life to, try and figure this out. And these witches out of nowhere just oh yeah, we did it. You didn't hear about it? You didn't know how to do that? Damn, that's rough.
Have you heard? Heard what? Heard the thread. I don't have as much of a stake in Star Wars as Garrett does, so I'm just gonna
Star Wars Theory. I don't know if you've ever watched him.
I know Star.
He's
been popping up a lot for me because of this show on my For You page.
He did a little skit about Palpatine saying, "Have you Palpatine? It's the whole. Have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?" But then Anakin's like, "Oh yeah, I heard a story about these witches that did it," and he's like, "What?"
So yeah, 3 more episodes left. We'll see how it finishes off. I think we just leave it at that. I don't know what else to say about the Acolyte just yet. But yeah,
I mean,
I think the villain is dope.
Yeah,
villain's dope.
No, I will definitely give my full opinion on at the end of the show.
Okay,
and see if they are able to make up for some of this stuff that they've done earlier. So we shall see what happens.
All right.